the courts work. We'll learn more about them and try to figure out how the legal system uses them into procedure. With me is Sir Asad Abbas Butt, legal expert and from the Advocate High Court. My name is Mahnoor Khan and this is UMT TV. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. And so, sir, tell us about the whole courts and how the legal system works. How does the court have an element to that?
Well, we need to understand that broadly we can divide our courts in two classes. First of all, there is a civil class in which the civil cases are adjudicated by the courts, and there are some criminal courts. And we do have further bifurcation in this regard.
Can you differentiate them?
Primarily, there is a broad classification: criminal courts and civil courts. But when we talk about the civil court, there is a long list. Like we have the general courts where which are regulated, or there is a procedure with the name of Civil Procedure Court. Then we have the banking courts. Then we have the consumer courts, consumer protection courts. Then we have the labor courts. Then we have family courts. Then we have the guardian courts. Then we have different tribunals like custom tribunals. They all fall into the definition of civil courts or civil tribunals, because here only the matters are relating to certain transactions, and there isn't any criminal element involved. Even though there are certain courts which are criminal courts, and the jurisdictions are with the civil side as well.
Of course.
But when we start counting the criminal courts, again we have a long list, like general criminal courts. Then there are narcotics courts. Then there are drugs courts. Then there are national accountability courts. Then there are central special judges.
There's a very long list.
Then there's a banking criminal courts, in which the banking when the crime is committed regarding the transaction or relating to banks law. Then there are courts which are adjudicating all this matter relating to banking transaction, and they are called banking criminal courts. So these are the courts which we can talk about when we say what is the legal system. Now, how the legal system will work? There's a very every country has a very major or big law which is called the Grundnorms, which is the basic law. In our country, the basic law is the Constitution of Pakistan. Even though that has been promulgated or enacted in the light of Islamic injunctions, because as a Muslim country, as a Muslim, we always need to look upon when we have any queries or questions which have not been answered in the law to the Quran and Sunnah. Yeah. But primarily in ready-made form, we have Constitution of Pakistan, and every law of your country needs to be in line with that. If any law is not in consonance or in line with the Constitution of Pakistan, the apex court of your country will declare it illegal or unlawful.
Of course. Sir, take an example of a spouse. They have marital problems. Who will they go to for aid or for actually helping them out? What kind of court will help them?
Well, they first of all need to go to a lawyer who are practicing in family matters, and of course that lawyer will take the petition or suit or application to the family courts. There are family courts who have been specifically been there for providing the or adjudicating the matter or dispute between the spouses or anything relating to marriage. So these are the specific courts who will adjudicate the matter regarding the dower amount. They will adjudicate the matter relating to dowry article, then maintenance of the wife and the child, and if there is some dispute regarding the hula or anything relating to divorce. So these are the family courts who have been specifically enacted in the light of the law in order to adjudicate all these matters. Yes.
Okay. Sir, you told us about a very long list about many courts. Can you describe the procedure, their whole legal system? For example, the banking court.
Well, a banking court, as we previously discussed, that they are specific courts, and there's a special law. They always adjudicates the matter which are between the customer and the bank. If an ordinary citizens have any dispute against the bank, again the remedy will lie into the civil court, not into the banking court.
Okay.
For be a filer into the banking court, filing any petition or any suit into the banking court an ordinary man, you have to be in the definition of the customer.
Okay.
So there's a particular and technical definitions which we need to discuss at the time of filing any application to the bank. So banking court they are again of civil nature and criminal natures. We need to see what application we have to file there, and again, but they are of criminal and civil nature both.
Okay, yeah. And we're going to go through we're going to go through some courts. The type of courts you actually told us about. So what about NAB courts?
NAB courts have been there in the light of the law, which is National Accountability Ordinance, and they are particularly there is a special prosecution department who file references against the accused person. They are basically relating to white collar crimes and mega projects, corruption scandals. Like you might have seen, so many politicians are being tried under this law and before the NAB courts. So obviously they are there to adjudicate the matter which are relating to white collar crimes, which are relating to huge mega project corruption scandals. So it depends that. But if you ask me as a lawyer, the scope of the NAB, National Accountability, is a very vast one. They can ask anyone about anything. Their scope of working is absolutely very wide and very huge one. But keeping in view the experience, I have seen that they only go for the mega projects because there are certain other authorities who are looking into the matter, which are minor in their nature, which are of trivial natures. So other like police station, ordinary police station, FIA and anti-corruption departments are there in order to investigate the matter which are of trivial natures, which are small natures.
And going through like a business perspective, what are the labor courts? Where are they concerned to labor unions?
Well, labor laws are regulated by different. Labor courts are regulated by the different laws. Like there's previously a new ordinance in 2019 has been enacted, which talks about the safety and in overall environment environment of the work in which the laborers is working always. So there are certain other laws. Obviously, these are the courts which have been designed to adjudicate the matter, which are between the employer and employee, which are between the laborers and their bosses, because all the times historically speaking, they were not there in the history of Pakistan. Initially, there was only civil courts and criminal courts, but with the passage of time, we have seen that there are so many bifurcations now. So as we will discuss in our next question regarding the history, but I have told you that they were not there. With the passage of time, they became more, more specialized, more specific, and now in the form of labor courts, we have the courts where the labor of our country can file, depending on the territorial jurisdiction of our country, and can file a petition or the request to the court for any sort of grievance, whichever they have.
Okay, sir. So these special courts, these different types of courts, do they have any special laws?
Well, obviously, courts are always, secondary. First, we need to have a law, because law gives birth to the court.
Yeah.
We cannot say this is the court and now make a law. First, the parliament of our country enacts law, and in the light of that law, different new courts or different new offices are actually, constructed or built. So first we need to have law, then the courts. So obviously there are certain laws, and every courts have a specific or specialized law behind it, and as per the provision of that particular law, they are running their day-to-day affairs.
Of course. Sir, could you thank you so much for that, and thank you so much for briefing us about these different kinds of courts. Could you please tell our audience briefly about these different types of courts, just to give like a lasting message?
Well, there are ordinary courts in our country, but at the same time, I would advise you that if you have a trivial or a minor sort of dispute regarding your electricity, regarding your natural gas provision, regarding your telephone, regarding your insurance policy, there are certain officers are sitting who are called the motasib. Even when we talk about the bank, there is an institution which is called the banking motasib. If you have any kind of dispute, you may simply file an application which can be filed online to them, and you can get a very speedy remedy without even having the legal advice or legal counsel, because when you engage a lawyer, obviously you need to pay a fee to the lawyer. But if your dispute is of very small nature, you can just file an application to the motasib. You can find them online by typing just ombudsman. They are both at the federal and provincial level.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us, and thank you. We will see you next time on another episode concerning law and the lawyer's desk. If you want more shows concerning law, please follow our Facebook page. My name is Mahnoor Khan, and this is UMT TV.